people in. It's a good problem to have when it's taking a little bit of time to get everybody in the door. So. All right, I think we've got our first cohort in the door here. We'll get going. Thank you everyone for coming to the August meeting of the West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem. We have a bit of a change in the schedule today, but it's a good thing. Secretary of State Mac Warner asked for some time this morning to discuss some exciting developments at the Secretary of State's office. So we will spotlight Secretary Warner and let him take it away.
Thank you so much, Bill. And I want to thank Bill and Tara for your all's continued leadership with the entrepreneurship ecosystem, and also note your position now with the Department of Commerce, and Deborah Martin with the Small Business Development Center. I want to thank everybody for being on the call and your continued support for the development of the business climate in West Virginia. Interestingly enough, just 2 days ago, West Virginia was named one of the top 10 business climates in the United States. Think about that. You know, we used to hear how West Virginia was always lagging in so many categories and so forth. And more, you're hearing more and more about West Virginia rising to the top in so many areas. And there could be nothing more important than having our business climate being recognized nationwide as a friendly, business-friendly environment. Each one of us on this call has our own role to play in that. And certainly the Secretary of State's office has a role as we register the businesses, license certain businesses and so forth. And so we're all aware, we've talked about in the past, the business one-stop, where we have tax, workforce, labor, the Secretary of State's office, Small Business Development Center, all working in one location. And we've done this in 3 locations throughout the state, Charleston, Martinsburg, and Clarksburg, where people, if you want to go in person, and
Secretary of State. It's on
you can go to these and get the personal help. But what I want to emphasize today is the announcement that I want to make, and you've just seen it if you've seen our press release go out here in the last hour or two, and that is we've now hit the 1 million mark with people using our online procedures. And so it's quite the milestone when you think about it. A small state like West Virginia, we've just had this technology in place since I've come into office, and really in the last year or two where we've really been emphasizing it. So I wanted to just go through a couple of those statistics for you to let you know how it is being utilized and how, whether you or people that you know can use this to streamline the business process. We're basically busting through the paperwork drill that we all probably grew up with and are accustomed to, and the state bureaucracy and people complaining about having to go to different locations and the mountain of paperwork that needs to be done. Now all this being done online. And so that's what the significance of this milestone is, and we want to have you help us get the word out of how easy it is. So what used to take days and a lot of effort can now be done in 5 minutes through the Business One Stop portal. Over 99% of our annual filings, business filings where they're renewing their registration and so forth, 99% are being done online now. 100% of the UCC filings are being done online in West Virginia. With this latest development, everything from marriage celebrants to notary public applications and renewals, athlete agents, scrap metal dealers, private investigators, all of those can be done now online 24/7 through the Secretary of State's website. 90% of all licenses now in West Virginia are done online. And what used to take with nonprofits and charities, sometimes they'll have applications that are literally over 100 pages, 100 documents that needed to be filled out. You can imagine filling those out, then packaging them up, shipping them to our office, and then, we're talking everything from mistakes can be made to things being lost in the mail and so forth. Now that stuff is being done online. Over 50% of the charities are now registering, doing all this paperwork online. So think of the time, money, and effort that's being saved by going to the online process. So I'll emphasize once again, 24/7. You can do this night, at home, on the weekends, in your pajamas. just get it done. That's the important thing. And so we want to get out of the way. Our motto in the Secretary of State's office is moving at the speed of business, just like you all with your businesses. You want to streamline things. That's what we're trying to do in government. It's an unusual concept that government is trying to act like a business, but that's our objective. So I just wanted to, I appreciate you giving me a couple minutes to talk about that. With this milestone, it's a great opportunity to spread the word, to use the online services. Go to wvsos.gov, and that's where it is. So Bill, appreciate you giving me a couple minutes to tout about this, but I think it's a great resource that we all need to be aware of. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to everyone.
No, thank you, Secretary of State. Again, I know Tara remembers our very first meeting where we started what a lot of this became, where we kind of combined some disparate efforts at the same time. We looked up and you showed up to the meeting. We had the Secretary of State's office down with a question mark, and not only did your staff show up, including Mike Queen and others, but you were there. So thank you so much for jumping on today, Secretary. We know you've got a busy day. We'll keep moving forward.
Chris is gonna come by.
We thank you. I think everybody can agree that was a good way to start our meeting. And you know, we very much see the program that we built with Business Link as a companion to that program, building that intentional funnel that we've talked about so much. So wasting no time, we'll get into our scheduled program for the month. And that is our Spotlight program this month, which happens to be the West Virginia Business Link soft launch. So if anybody has been out there online, we are actually up and running. The website went live late yesterday. So we wanted to talk a little bit about it today and give you all some more background for those of you who may not be able to be on to our launch in April. We are lucky enough to have Dara Macon from SourceLink. She's been a great source of support. SourceLink, of course, is the platform that bid and got the work with us and has been our program provider for building the network that we're building here, the electronic network. Dara has been with SourceLink since 2016, where she serves as the National Director of Strategic Partnerships and Engagement. Prior to joining SourceLink, Dara consulted with organizations engaged in economic development to help them improve their visibility and drive economic impact. She's been a great support for me, and I'm looking forward. She agreed to help us kick it off today. So Dara, if you want to go ahead and begin to, you want to begin to present, we'll go ahead and get you spotlighted.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Well, what a wonderful introduction. And I'm so excited about some of the synergies with the opening remarks. Always excited to hear great news around things where we're making it easy for people in our communities to engage and actively participate. So it's a pleasure for me to spend just a couple of minutes sharing a bit with you about SourceLink. So excuse me, sorry, my mouse is a little wonky here. So SourceLink is a program that started in Kansas City. We are part of the University of Missouri Kansas City campus at the Innovation Center. We began our work in the Kansas City region back in 2003 with really a goal of supporting the local entrepreneurial ecosystem and thinking about how we could help startups and young businesses succeed. Shortly after we began the work in Kansas City, we started getting inquiries from other communities, and that resulted in the opportunity for us to begin our expansion. And since that time, we've been privileged to work with over 100 communities, mostly in the US, but we also have helped with the asset mapping and resource identification process in some international locations also. You know, it's interesting because COVID has definitely created a renewed interest in supporting small businesses. However, if you look back over the last few years, unfortunately, the general trend is a downward trend as far as business starts. So SourceLink's goal is really to help communities create a cohesive ecosystem that encourages not only new business formation, but also provides support to your smaller established businesses so that they can succeed. Our affiliate network, it ranges in sizes from rural communities. We have 2 counties in Southern Oregon that we work with currently, all the way up to statewide affiliates. We are currently supporting 5 statewide initiatives. And because of our experience with not only the technology piece, but also the consulting, we've learned a lot of nuances that are associated with managing and supporting larger geographies and the various needs, everything from rural to more populated regions. So we are very excited to have West Virginia join us as part of our national affiliate network. We specialize in entrepreneurship-led economic development, and we have a kind of a 4-step process that we recommend that communities think about. First, that is identifying the resources that are available, in this case, across the state of West Virginia. Then how do you begin to connect those resources to each other? I know you guys have done a fabulous job in centering, really setting up the groundwork, and you've been having those kind of meaningful conversations. But we think by establishing this central hub, we can really help you go deeper even, and also invite others into the network and become familiar so that you can improve on the quality of the referrals and helping entrepreneurs get to the best fit resources. Once you engage in those processes, you can really begin to listen and learn, identify gaps, and really start to think about how you can collaborate to solve some of those larger issues. And then, of course, we feel it's extremely important to be able to measure outcomes and be able to report on how you're moving the needle and share success stories and celebrate the work that you're doing. Many of you have been working with the team here at West Virginia SourceLink over the last few months. And we have developed a platform that Bill's going to introduce you to here in just a minute. But really, the platform creates a central location that not only entrepreneurs, but you as resource partners can point to find things like a comprehensive calendar of events. Everything is geolocated in the system, which is really important when you're dealing with a larger geography, such as a statewide implementation. Entrepreneurs love to be able to get tips and information about how to start and grow their business. But if they don't find what they need online, they like to be able to connect with a real person. And so the system and the training that we're providing supports a hotline or the ability to provide that special triage that your entrepreneurs might need. We have an online smart search database called the Resource Navigator. So for those that are interested in looking around in the system to see, based on their stage of business or where they're located, who might be available to assist them, can quickly get that matchmaking done. And then the system also supports a variety of business guides that can help everyone from starting and thinking about starting a business all the way up through second stage, finding new markets and growing. So what can West Virginia SourceLink think about doing as they get started in this work? Well, in addition to some of your traditional economic measures, we have some things that we recommend that the initiative will be focused on tracking. So in addition to job creation and access to capital, Other great measures are around the strength of your network. You already have 100+ resource partners engaged, but I know you're going to be inviting more into this network. And so there's an opportunity to gauge the connectivity, the interaction with the system, and also with the hotline. And then, being able to follow your Google Analytics, your social media, really to understand how the platform and the engagement is being used, and to be able to share insights based on supply and demand and other types of activity. So you are really joining a national network, and we think that that is really as great a value as the platform itself, because this work is only as good as the people and the passion and the energy that you put into it. So you all are now officially part of a community of peers that are doing this work across the country and in Puerto Rico. And we want you to be able to tap into that network, and we want you to be able to learn from it, and be able to continue to evolve and develop and mature as you think about what your evolving needs are for your entrepreneurs and small businesses. So thank you for the opportunity, not only to support this initiative. We're looking forward to continuing to engage and help as you grow. But it's been great this past 6 months as everybody's worked diligently to get this platform launched, and we're looking forward to your future success. So Bill, I'm going to turn it back over to you so that you can talk about what's next.
Sure. Thank you so much, Dara. I had never really interacted with SourceLink, or, I had heard of Iowa SourceLink, some of the other state programs before, but I can tell you that we wouldn't be as far along as we are right now without the great resources they brought to this. So with no further ado, we are going to crack open the website and give some of you all your first look at West Virginia Business Link. So it's an exciting platform. We are just at the beginning of it. As you can see, right as you come into the front page, you'll see the link, business link up to the left, our logo, and you'll see those colors repeated throughout. Very importantly, the front page is always going to greet you with bright pictures, and that's the intro with links out to the different parts of our website. But that slider, this is where, if everyone will recall, a couple months ago, I requested some pictures. You'll see a lot of pictures throughout the website, but particularly on this front page slider, we want to keep this fresh by rotating these images. And obviously we have a set of image from Commerce Communications, who does a great job, and our own resources, but this is one of those places where we want to highlight our resource partners throughout the state as well. So each picture corresponds with another part of the website, obviously. So business help will take you to the resource navigator. The events ready to open will start to take you to some of our pages that have the information on how you get up, how you get running, how you expand your business here in West Virginia. So we would love to personalize these with resource partner pictures, and you can send those to me via email. You can send me a link, and thank you to the partners who have already done that. We are super excited though. You'll see the different pages up here at the top. We have about 20 some pages, 22 pages of data. I've gotten on Deb a couple of times because she didn't tell me that web designer was going to be the new skill I got to learn in my first 3 months. But we've added a lot of meat to each one of these pages. And again, while we're in this soft launch, this is the time for us to learn and grow and do. We've got the initial amounts of information in here. But we look for this to grow and change. And you'll notice as you have the opportunity to go through each of these pages that there will be links out to various resources on the web from our partners, that it will take them straight to the resource partner page where hopefully they can connect with you and on and on and on. And where we could, we worked in information from our partners. So Tyler Brandstetter at RCBI helped us develop the business model canvas that we use here, and we actually give them a link to that. Joe Browse at the West Virginia Economic Development Authority helped us with some of the information in the funding pages. So I'd really like to thank the resource partners who took the time to help us work through all those pages. The trade office that helped us work through the import-export information, along with Anibay Diaz here from the International Division at the Department of Economic Development. So again, a lot of links in here, a lot of data in here. I think really, and then one of the most exciting for me over the last few weeks, then when you click to resources, is seeing the 108 resource partners that we've already identified in the state. So you'll see the information that you submitted here in a real way. I know it was a lot of checkbox. Some of us went back and forth a few times on what boxes needed to be checked for you, but it all came together. So what I would ask everyone to do is take some time and go to your page. We'll hit all about Grafton here. I don't think Tom Hart's on today. Tom and I have gone back a couple of times to make sure it's right. But if you think of yourself as an entrepreneur in Grafton and you come to this page, you're going to see this is what All About Grafton does. This is how they can help me. This is the things they do in my community. And for each of you who've taken the time to fill out the resource partner list, there is that information in here for you to, sometimes you get a critical error. So that's part of the soft launch. And we'll say that today. There are going to be things that don't go necessarily 100% right. That's why we called a soft launch. If any of you all are Schitt's Creek fans and watch David with his quad opening, that's where we're at right now. Because there are going to be some things that aren't exactly right. So before we go public, we want to make sure everything is dialed in and ready to go. But you can see for yourself, go look at your organizational information that's in there. As you have changes, please let me know. I think one of the things, as this is an emerging platform for us, you're going to start to get referrals. Everybody took the time to go through and check mark all of their services and specialties. And when you see what's occurring, if you start to get referrals that aren't exactly what you do, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and say, hey, we're seeing these kind of referrals. How can we get more of this type of referral? So, all of that will be in there. Clearly, then there are searchable fields over here to the left, and it lets people put in, how far they're willing to go physically, if that's a limitation for them away, how close they need this person to be. I will say, for those of you with state offices, one of the things we did, like with the West Virginia SBDC, you will see them entered multiple times across the state because the physical offices all vary. So we wanted not to all be referring to one central location here in Charleston, but we wanted to get them to the one that was nearest to them because we felt that they were more likely to use that. It will also help you show up more in a local entrepreneur's feed if you have that closer geographic list rather than just having the one location in. Then finally, one of the things that I'm excited about, not finally, but close to finally, we have the capacity to put in a shared calendar, and this really builds forward on the work that you all have done with Tyler. And I know he's probably breathing a sigh of relief that there's a way now to handle this. And Tyler just reaffirmed that in chat. A hot link that you can put in, again, just because I don't want to ask anybody to do anything I wouldn't do, and so that you all could see a sample today of what is going on. This took me maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes to put in, and there's a way to put in recurring events. So I'm still learning this as we go. After I'd put this in, my support team at SourceLink told me how to do a recurring team. or a recurring event. So, but you can see pretty straightforward. It gives you dates and times, and it lets you know who is, the organizer and contact information there. So hopefully, again, creating more traction, more awareness of your events, the opportunity for people to find your events different way, and the opportunity for people to be driven to your websites and your events in a different manner. So we really hope that people will begin to use this function. If you go back and look at the main calendar page, all you've got to do is scroll down to submit your event, and very, very basic. I think we've all got used to doing this over the last year, the last several years, but particularly over the last year. There is, hopefully we get past everything, and you can even begin to put venue details in again. So hopefully, as we're going out to people and starting to have physical locations, we'll be able to put those in and have geotagged locations. So the final part, and again, another area that I really think as we go will rise and fall on the resource partners that we want to really build out and make robust, is the blog section. We have the capacity to blog, but I don't want this to be my voice going out all the time. We've talked to a few of the founding resource partners, and they're going to have a few more blogs up before we go live. But then we want to make this a place that people can come and really get some information, that there is more than just the random travel blog kind of thing that you do. We want this to be business information about organizations, taking these organizational spotlights and letting you build out into a blog on your specialty and how you help entrepreneurs in West Virginia. We also will begin to put up the monthly entrepreneurship meetings, the ecosystem meetings. If you all remember last month, Sonia Moyne, who's on today, it's good to see your name pop in, Sonia, will be, what the speakers will be listed, and then we'll actually have a video link to the whole thing for people. Probably the most common request I get is, how do you, where's the recording? Where can I find it? That has found its home now on Business Link in a very usable way. There'll be some highlights for people who maybe don't know exactly what the meeting was. So if they have some interest there, they can go and see. And that is a lot of it. You'll see that we have the contact information up here to, on each page, the capacity for entrepreneurs to contact us directly, either through phone or email. And right now Zoom is kind of blocking my capacity to click on that contact me. You also see down at the bottom, though, that our social media is up. That all is live. We are not at this point pushing very hard, but somebody found us on Twitter already this morning. Travis from the Appalachian Sustainable Tourism Collective found us and was our first follower on Twitter this morning. So those are all out there now, and those links are live from the website. So again, the biggest invitation right now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. The biggest invitation to everyone right now is to go and take a look specifically at your organization, but take a look at the website. Make sure that if we've got a link to your website, it's the right part of your website. Make sure that if there is, if you're looking at a piece on funding and that's what you do for a business and it doesn't say exactly what you think it is, let me know, because we've worked with a lot of people to get this right, but this will be an evolving tool as we go. So the next exciting part of this is we've got Matt Ditchin from Commerce Communications on today, and Matt has been part of the team throughout. And Matt, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself and to talk a little bit about some of the toolkit that we're going to provide people as partners in the ecosystem to help promote themselves and promote everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Am I able to share my screen? I have a short little presentation that shows some of the resource toolkits, if I'm able to.
Hold on just a second. There you go. You should be able to share your screen now, Matt.
Awesome. All right. Can everyone see? Oh, is it good?
Yes.
All right, yeah, so as Bill mentioned, my name is Matt Ditchin and I work with Commerce Communications. I'm working with Bill and Deborah and Steve Martin at the SBDC as a marketing manager, and I've been kind of helping facilitate some of the content and stuff we've been helping Bill doing. I know he's been putting a lot of work, he's really excited. And so what I'm gonna talk about today is a resource toolkit that's gonna be available on the Business Link website. If you're a new resource partner, you can be able to go there and have a lot of access to some of these resources to get started, let people know that you're a resource partner. And kind of, yeah, expand the business link even more. So what's actually going to be included in the toolkit is first a press release. It's going to be a template to kind of just announce that you're joining the West Virginia Business Link. It's going to be pretty straightforward, kind of standard. So you can be able to just drop your agency, your company, or your organization right in there, then be able to send that out to various people. Same thing, we're also going to have a newsletter template to where you can put that if you have marketing or newsletter email already set up, you'll be able to share that and announce that about the business link as well. And then as you'll see on the next slide, we do also have some graphics to go along with it. One of them will be an actual resource partner graphic with the Business Link logo that will allow you to let people know that you're a resource partner and you're involved with the West Virginia Business Link. Also with that, there'll be some branding and messaging as far as what colors, logo, words and things to use when you're talking about the Business Link. And also social media graphics, which will include about, what are the key benefits of like the social media, not a social media, of what Business Link is and what it's capable of, and you'll be able to share that directly on social media with these graphics. And so we're finishing up the graphics and all the final files to be added onto the website, and we should have that up on the website by the end of the week. Just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what it'd look like. Up top, you can kind of see the resource partner. That's what the logo would look like. And then some of the benefits and social media graphics, all branded with the West Virginia Business Link in mind. And then, yeah, it'll be able to it'll be easy accessible on the website. I think me and Bill need to discuss where exactly it's going to be on the website, but we want to make sure it's easy accessible to resource partners. And then, yeah, as I said, the toolkit will be finished this week and be added on the website. And I'm sure Bill will send that out once it's all completed and ready to go. But yeah, I'm excited to get the toolkit going, and I'm excited for Business Link to get launched and everything. I know everyone's been putting a lot of effort into it, and it's great to see all this for West Virginia. But that's all I had, Bill. Very simple.
All right.
Sweet.
All right. Thank you, Matt. It's exciting. It has surely been a village or two or three, and actually a little over 108 villages across the state that have helped lift this effort so far. That's our quick soft launch. Again, the biggest ask back from my fundraiser days is please go give the website a look. If there are any corrections on your specific page, please look at that. Please send that to me and I'll give that a look. Just got a question from Trina. Resources are being vetted. Everything, including events, submitted blogs, anything that will go up like that has an administrative approval process that will go through the Business Link team here. So every resources that is submitted, we go through a conversation back and forth with everybody, and most everybody on this call has had these email exchanges with me. And the one thing I would ask people to do also on your resource thing is make sure that your graphic is the graphic that you want tied to your name. So tied to your organization's name. So if there are no other questions, thank you all so much for your attention. I think I can go back to sleeping at night, maybe a little bit now. Really excited to get this live, though. It has been a real amazing process over the past few months. So we will move on into the next step on our program. We had a little bit of a change today. Karen Friel was supposed to give us a quick update on SBA Small Business Week, but she got called away on official business. So I believe Nikki Bowmar is here to give us a quick update.
Yes, Bill, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. So we are excited to announce that National Small Business Week 2021 Virtual Summit will be September 13th through the 15th. As many of you know, National Small Business Week has been recognized since 1963. Like most things, COVID threw a wrench in our normal plans, but we have pivoted and found a way to celebrate this year. Instead of highlighting individual winners, this year's event will spotlight the resilience of all of America's entrepreneurs and the renewal of the small business economy as they build back from the economic crisis brought on by a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. The virtual summit will honor the nation's 30 million small businesses for their perseverance, resourcefulness, achievements, and creativity. This year's event will take place in a virtual atrium and will include numerous educational panels providing retooling and innovative practices for entrepreneurs as small businesses look to pivot and recover towards a stronger economy. The SBA will share important information about the many programs and services available to help small businesses start and grow, build resilience, retain employees, discover new markets, and join key networks. The event will include representatives from Fortune 500 companies who will discuss their paths to success and share resources to help small businesses on their entrepreneurial journey. Highlights of the summit will include virtual booths to develop one-on-one connections with public and private sector partners, to create opportunities for collaboration and information sharing in real time. In addition, small business participants can learn more about new business strategies, meet other business owners, and talk with industry experts. Speakers will be announced at a later date. So to register for the event, just go to sba.gov/NSBW. And since we have this audience here today, I want to take an opportunity to invite you to our monthly small business briefings to ensure you stay up to date on all the programs and services offered by the SBA. These briefings are the first Friday of every month at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you are interested in being added to our contact list, just email us at wvinfo@sba.gov, or you can register at www.smallbusinessbriefing.eventbrite.com. And I can drop those into the chat. And now I'll just go ahead and turn it back to you, Bill.
All right. Thank you so much, Nikki. We really appreciate you stepping in today, kind of last minute, but those things happen to all of us. So next up, we have Amber Ravenscroft from the Edventure group to talk about a career summit coming up.
Hi, everyone. It's awesome to see so many faces. I always enjoy being around like-minded people. I have just a brief opportunity that I want to highlight on behalf of some of the collaborative work that the Edventure group is doing with the West Virginia Department of Education, Marshall University's iCenter, and West Virginia University's John Chambers College, and the Encova Center. So we have an upcoming event, and I'm going to go ahead and actually, Bill, can I share the flyer real quick?
Sure. Hold on just a second. I've got a... get to you, Amber. You should be able to share now.
Awesome. Okay. So we are collaboratively working on a couple of different initiatives within the space of entrepreneurship education and work-based learning. And so to highlight those initiatives, we are doing a classroom to career summit on Friday, September 17th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern. And it's a little bit unique to highlight the collaboration between the organizations. We're offering it in 3 different formats. You can either join the Marshall team on the Huntington campus, the WVU team on the Morgantown campus, or join us virtually via Zoom. And there will be a lot of interactive elements. We are looking for stakeholder feedback from the ecosystem on ways to continue to provide and build opportunities in work-based learning and entrepreneurship education for West Virginia youth to build an entrepreneurial talent pipeline. And so we would definitely encourage everyone in this organization and this ecosystem to go ahead and register and lend your voice to this conversation. So this is the first time that we're having the Classroom to Career Summit. We have a lot of really cool initiatives that we'll be launching during the academic year, and just want to give everyone an opportunity to uplift your voice in the conversation around the talent pipeline in the state. And I do want to just ask, I know Sarah Walmsley is on and she is our kind of point of contact at the department. Sarah, anything you'd like to add here?
I think you covered it pretty well. I do know that from the West Virginia Department of Education and specifically business education, that we are really trying to inspire entrepreneurship education and young entrepreneurships to contribute to the West Virginia economy. So anything that you want to send over my way, I'll drop my email in, but I am always open to ideas and contacts and communications, and we would love to hear from you at this Classroom to Career Summit. Thanks, Amber.
Thank you. And I will drop the Eventbrite link in. And just a note for the in-person locations, there is some limited space. So if you end up selecting that in the registration and we're at capacity, you will automatically be routed into a virtual offering. And if there is, in the case of COVID, a switch to a virtual just based on the campus priorities, we will be able to accommodate everyone in a Zoom environment. So I will drop the link in here and my email as well if you have any questions. Thank you all.
That's great, Amber. That's exciting stuff. And the kind of thing that should be added to the calendar of events coming up on West Virginia Business Week. We are also, September is just going to be a crazy busy month, I think, for everybody. One of the big exciting things that's happening that month, I believe, Tina, are you still on to talk to us about the Rural Rise Virtual Summit? Tina was on a hotspot, so she may have either lost us or had to jump off. But she did want to remind everybody that the registration is now open for the virtual summit, September 20 and 21 for Rural Rise. They are going to go back in person next spring, but right now with Delta and everything that's going on, they took kind of a straw poll and decided that they should stay remote, and it's looking like a smarter decision all the time. So that, I think, brings us to the close of everything that we had dialed in. Does anybody else have anything exciting going on in the state of West Virginia they want to tell everybody about? You just have to unmute yourself and give a shout out to the group here. Okay. Anybody?
Bill, let's give you a shout out. The website looks great, and I know you have been working very hard on that. So thank you for all of your hard work.
Yeah, way to go, Bill.
Thank you all. It's really been great. It's been super rewarding to connect with people. You know, people always laugh that it seems like everywhere I go, I know people, but I've met so many new people over the past 3 months that are doing work that I didn't even know was going on in the state. You know, especially like just last week met Valerie and Josh from the Red Partnership up in the Northern Panhandle, doing great things, and Nicole McConla and John Williams from the Entrepreneurship Unlock Clinic at WVU, who are doing awesome things there. And it's just every week it's getting to see more of the resources that are out there in West Virginia. And again, I feel like the importance of the Business Link is, you know, if I didn't know they were there, and I swim in this stuff every day and have for, gosh, a good portion of my life now, how's an entrepreneur who's trying to start their business going to know they're always there if we're not finding a way to intentionally make that funnel work from the Secretary of State out to all the builders? So it's super exciting. There's more things to come. Tara and I are studying right now the possibility of maybe revisiting our in-person ecosystem builders and maybe an entrepreneurship focused training in person come next spring. We'll hope that it goes better this time than, you know, world-ending disaster that happened last time right in front of our summit.
We're coming back, baby. COVID or not, we're coming back.
Coming back. So exactly. So super excited for everything. If nobody else has anything, we're at 2:45. We will call this one done, and thank everybody for coming. We had, in the middle of summer, we had almost 60 people on at one point. So just awesome. Super excited for the work, and we'll be moving it forward. You should see the toolkit here. Everybody that's signed up as a resource partner will see that toolkit drop to them pretty soon, and then we'll point towards probably a live launch. We're targeting SBA Small Business Week, September 13th to the 15th, for kind of a media push and really getting out there with everything. So again, thank you for your time. Take some time, look at westvirginiabusinesslink.com and let me know what we need to do to make it better for you and for the entrepreneurs that we all serve. So thank you, everybody. We'll end it for today.
Thanks, Bill.